Back on campus in St. Louis at Concordia Seminary. It's good to be here. It's really good to be here. There's not as many opportunities for pastors to be fed and nourished by the word directly, where you're not the one doing the preaching or the teaching. And so to be here for a whole week, just immersed in the study of God's word, is just such a blessing. It's very good in that way. So I definitely don't take that for granted. It's hard still, but such a blessing. They don't call it intensive week for nothing. But to have 5 days here on this campus instead of online, to be in person with brothers, it's a good thing. It's really good. This is such a cool campus. As you can see a little bit behind me, there's just such a blend of things that are old and things that are modern in this cool mix. Things that have stood the test of time and things that are relevant still this many years later. In my devotion time this morning, was in Lamentations chapter 3. And it's talking about God and acknowledging everything that comes from him. And it just struck me this morning, even in a more powerful way than before. It is not lost on me, this journey and this opportunity for me to be here. But even before going to the seminary, even before going into full-time church work, there's times in my life, no matter what job I was doing, where I could clearly see God upholding me, God carrying me through. In fact, there's never been a moment in my life where he has not been there. Even in the times where I've maybe thought or wondered where he was, after the fact, it's overly apparent that he's been there the entire time. Talking about this cool mix of old and new, in Lamentations, there's a word that's an older word, portion. When you hear that word, I bet you think, like I do, of a small piece. If I'm going to eat a portion of the pie, I'm going to eat maybe just a small sliver, not the whole thing. But when Lamentations talks about portion, it's more like if you inherit your portion of the inheritance, if you receive your portion of the estate, that will be all that you are to live on and survive on. It's a term that implies more everything that you need, the whole, rather than just a piece. Here from Lamentations chapter 3 this morning. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. And here in verse 24, the Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore, I will hope in him. The Lord is my portion. It doesn't mean here just that the Lord is a little piece. He's just along for the ride. It means, and your soul is the one saying it and knowing it, that the Lord is everything. That God is everything. Everything you need to live on. Everything you need to survive. Everything you need for joy. Man, isn't that so true? We don't always see it. We don't always acknowledge it. But even in those times when we don't, his mercies are new to come. They never cease. They're new every morning. And so if you haven't thought that yet today, if you haven't acknowledged God in that way yet today, today's a new day. His mercies are new this morning. They're new for you. And God is your portion. He's everything that you need. May you go to him for all that you need to come this day and in the days ahead.